Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome, everybody, to the TechBrew podcast, the podcast where we blend today's world of technology with the aroma of coffee, plus a deep dive into the latest tech trends and thought-provoking discussions. My name is Cam, and I'm here with my co-host, as always, E.T. Hey. And today, our topic of discussion is a little bit more laid back. It's not going to be about really anything that's like serious. Today, we're just going to be kind of messing around with this thing that we discovered. I don't know.
I'm also here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. We have a producer / audio engineer,
Mr. Smiley
/ camera guy. He's off in the background, but he will chime in every once in a while and he put his thoughts and opinions and stuff. He's the official third member.
If some of you watch the Joe Rogan podcast,
I'm Jamie.
He's definitely the Jamie.
Yeah.
So
he's Jamie, basically. So he'll correct us if we give out false information. He has a sniper rifle aimed at us. So if we're wrong, no, I'm just kidding.
What's that red dot on your shirt?
Right, what's that red dot? But today we're gonna be really just kind of goofing around. We're gonna be kind of going through this thing. This website that I don't know which one of us discovered it first, probably Grayson, years ago, called InspiroBot. What InspiroBot does is it will auto-generate random inspirational quotes that generally are nonsense. Generally they mean they don't even make comprehensible sentences. To the whole episode, we're just going to be sharing these fake inspirational quotes, and we'll show them up on screen.
Apparently there's a Google search for InspiroBot lore.
Interesting.
Which, to be fair, I have noticed some of the quotes involve, putting up a front that it's like got the interest of humanity at heart.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But like secretly.
For example, this quote that I just randomly generated. Failure, there it goes. Failure deserves love too. Makes no sense. Makes no sense, but it's funny.
It sounds like a parent that just doesn't think their kid can do any wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, the thing is about sometimes with this website, it kind of takes a while because some of the times
you got to keep hitting the button.
It generates. Sometimes it does like decent stuff that it's like, okay, that is kind of motivational. But sometimes it does kind of take a while.
I just got one here that says, why be the butt of the joke when you can be exceptionally, remarkably young?
So stuff like that.
Yeah. Grammatically makes no sense. Some of the things are hilarious. Storms should have warning labels. That's actually a good quote.
Besides how funny that is, it's like, they should.
Yeah. Conventional thought is a good idea. That's why it's called a conventional thought. I don't have that one. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
A song can hurt hand sanitizers. I'm gonna save that one.
That one's funny.
Yeah, please say that.
Please be upfront about human existence. I'm gonna save that one. That one's funny. I was also thinking. I kind of just thought of this since this is more like a relaxed, like goofy episode, not really about tech or anything. Would you guys want to do like a debate about like top 5 games, like something like later?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do 40 minutes of this. I mean, our podcast is usually 40-45 minutes. No kindness, no love. So we're gonna keep these a little bit PG. Sometimes they aren't fully.
I feel like there should be a PG switch.
Right? Yeah. Some of the nuke colleagues.
Definitely save that one.
Oh, that was being saved. Yeah. Oh, nope. I'm sure my phone.
So, all right. So, I got a tip for you guys.
Okay.
Rule number 1. If you actually need knowledge, you must eat bats.
Only Ozzy Osbourne has knowledge.
Right.
Only Ozzy.
Only Ozzy.
Have a cry before dinner.
Have a cry before dinner.
It's a thunderstorm.
Honey, your mac and cheese is ready.
To get shared in social media, there's only one possibility. Eat bugs. That would work.
Yeah.
That would be on Facebook. Hey,
If you've ever heard of that.
I found one that's a picture of like the COVID.
The
COVID.
virus. Yeah.
Yeah, and it says, enjoy yourself in your confusing life.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's never too late to be yourself.
Sums up the past 4 years.
Oh my
That one's
gosh.
actually kind of
Never too late to be yourself. That's kind of sad.
That's just a legit quote.
So, mine is like a picture of an alien in the background, and in big title it says, "Laughter. Believe in a hitman."
Send me that. I need that. You're almost as cute as a wet carrot.
That is the weirdest pickup line I've ever
Hey,
heard.
if you ever need a pickup line, that's
Right.
a good one. Try that.
I'm gonna send that to her right now.
So I don't know if this one's funny, but literally just as soon as we were just talking about that, the one Grayson said, this one says, the experience of going on dates can be a lot similar to being a used car salesman.
Honestly, you gotta talk about your features, man.
Right.
See how many miles it's on that baby?
Hey.
The couples who open their hearts to lovers are also the couples who open their hearts to approval.
Weird. Keep being dreaming. Keep being dreaming.
Scroll down to become my friend. That's not even a quote. That was just on the screen.
Oh yeah. You know what this reminds me of? I was watching yesterday, or the day before. I was rewatching Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
You've seen that movie where he's just like catchphrase.
I got one here. That's a picture of Shakespeare, and it says, "Welcome to the golden age of dissatisfaction."
Seek the advice of zombies.
Um,
And it's showing the world.
I mean, not wrong.
Not wrong.
Public life is like an underwater cave. In the end, it kills you.
That's morbid. Undertakers are undertakers because they can.
All right.
All right.
We'll have to. Oh, yeah. Once you find that one, we'll definitely have to put it on here. The one that just says parish.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So like I said, we've known about this site forever. So we occasionally will send each other ones, just out of the blue. And I have some that I've had for weeks that I've saved. So I'm gonna read some of the ones that I've already screenshotted from weeks ago. And Grayson hasn't heard any of these. Just because an Adam Sandler movie is a toxin, it doesn't mean that a toxin is an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, I guess.
Tell everyone that a moral panic is worth it.
I like that one.
I got one more. Hold on. With sad cults come sad inventions. Makes no sense.
Yeah. After the good times comes the awkward silence, and it's a picture of like industrial smokestacks. This one is airplanes ruin everything fun.
Accurate. Would the world be better if our neighbors snapped?
Be a lot more interesting.
Your father will never end world hunger.
Probably.
Don't be dumb. Just eat more kale. Now this one's funny because it's true, and as I know, we are musicians to a degree. You know, we all play an instrument of some kind. Do you play it? You don't play an instrument, do you?
Drums.
He plays drums and bass.
I knew that. I've known you. I've known you since we were like
I
3.
feel a little heartbroken.
I'm sorry. I forgot you play drums. But yeah, we all play an instrument or two, and one of the ones that it generated a few weeks ago that I screenshotted was, what is funny to musicians is unfunny to everyone else.
What's
Like-
the fastest way to get fired from the band?
What?
The drummer comes up and says, "Hey guys, I wrote a song." How do you know when the guitarist is at the door? He doesn't know when to come in.
That's funny.
Here's one. Paying a bee to become your orphan is the definition of politically incorrect.
What?
I like when they're cryptic and they don't make any sense.
I think mine's pretty good. When in doubt, collaborate with the sociopath.
I like that one.
Definitely gonna keep that.
I might hang that on my wall.
Stay wild and crazy and feast on carbs.
Honestly, just a couple wild and crazy guys.
Right.
I'll do one more. This is some really good advice.
Fine,
So you guys listening?
Yes.
This is some really good advice.
I'm listening.
Don't play stupid. It's stupid.
That's not bad advice.
So like, see, with some of these, like, it definitely reminds me of like sitting in elementary class and you had all those
like
posters
Inspiro,
on
yeah.
the wall. Yeah.
Complain about life.
I got a sad one.
Uh-oh.
They can make you get a job in the entertainment industry, but they cannot make you make people love you.
Ooh, that's deep.
So yeah, basically that's
Barely.
what. So if you want to go check it out,
Website.
we'll definitely put like a link.
Oh, yeah, it's InspiroBot.me. If you just Google InspiroBot, there's just a single generate button, and it'll generate a quote, and then it will generate an image in the background that looks inspirational, like a puppy or like the beach or like a couple holding hands or like a wedding photo.
Welcome back, everybody. We had some technical difficulties, and we are working at the Kinks. Cameron,
Are we live and in color?
Yes,
Cameron, I
ma'am.
believe you were telling us about a movie called Beverly Cop.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop. Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's a movie from the 80s. There's 3 of them, technically 4 of them now. I was asking you guys if you had seen the new one that came out on Netflix.
Nope.
Because a lot of times, and in my opinion, and kind of a lot of people's opinion, whenever there is a character that we haven't seen on screen in like 20, 30 years, like Rambo, Rocky, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, there's another one coming out. Heck yeah, it's like you want that nostalgia feel. A lot of times those movies end up failing. They don't do so well because a lot of times I feel like the people who produce those movies or make those movies are like, oh, they won't care. They just want to see the person on the screen. I'm like, no. I want the story to make sense. Like, I'm not just going to be, oh, hi, that's Sylvester Stallone. I haven't seen him in 30 years. I want the story to make sense.
It's mainly because I get what you're saying because like I think just how times are different now.
Yeah.
But with that, it was, to me, when I look back at him now, it's something where it's like, because of a random big movie star, and it's like, and like that's it.
Yeah, it's
kind of like, okay, I get that, but you're just like you're and they're putting the actor's name in big, huge, bold letters, and then everything else just so slightly, small. And
well, it's like when you have like the Terminator, for example. Like Terminator 1. Phenomenal. T2 obviously is the greatest Terminator movie ever.
we don't talk about 3.
I've never watched The Terminator.
How dare you? The second one is the only one you need to work. You concern yourself with. T2 is the greatest one ever, but they're on like Terminator 7 now or something stupid ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they all suck. Besides T1 and Terminator 1 and T2, everything else is horrible. And they made like Terminator 1, 2, and I think 3, and then they waited quite a few years before they continued to make like 4, 5, and 6, or however many there are. But it was really just, oh my gosh, Arnold's back! Whoa, yeah, Terminator!
Yeah.
And that's like their selling point. It's just that he's coming back. But I'm like, but the story isn't great. But with Beverly Hills Cop, I watched that. Me and my girlfriend watched that a few days ago, or actually the day it dropped. On Netflix, and we both thought, and a lot of the reviews that I read about it after we watched it thought that it was a really good sequel. Like the story made sense. Like the characters that were in, like they didn't just bring Eddie Murphy back. They brought literally every character that's physically alive that was in the first 3 are in the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever seen the movies, it's Eddie Murphy and he buddies up with 2 Beverly Hills cops. Well, the actors that play those cops, Judge Reinhold and John, I can't remember the other guy's name. One of the guys is like 85 years old. Was in the movie. His part made sense. His role made sense. Like. And so did the other guy. Judge Reinhold's character made sense too. And if you want to know the story, essentially he basically goes back to Beverly Hills to help his daughter, who got caught up in some. She was a lawyer, and she got caught up and like kidnapped by like some gang members. I will say the only thing that they didn't really think about was that it's never mentioned that he had a kid in any of the original Beverly Hills Cops. And the time, the year that she would have been born in the lore wouldn't make sense because there was a movie that came out that year in 1990. I think Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out like 94. And she was supposed to be born in like 93 based off of the age of the character and the actress.
Right.
But they never mentioned it. Obviously, they didn't plan for a fourth one back when the third one came out. So that's like one of the things that they didn't think about was like her time, like her age doesn't really match up because they never mentioned it. For me, as a moviegoer, I still want the story to make sense, and I still want it to feel like I'm back when I was watching the originals. Granted, I wasn't alive for any of those, but in this one, I feel like legitimately accomplished that. So I just wanted to bring that story out there. If you want, we can switch to, or if you have comments yourself.
I have an interesting movie thing I heard of today.
What is that? I'm ready.
So, are you guys familiar with the old Willy Wonka?
From 1971 with Gene Wilder?
Gene Wilder, yes. And the Harry Potters, especially the final Harry Potters.
Like the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, so supposedly the Weasley brother that survived the Deathly Hallows war against the Death Eaters is the same guy
becomes
as Willy Wonka.
I could see that. Like if there was like a fake canon story between the two,
I can definitely see
I
that.
could see that.
So okay, so you know about the tricks and candies shop that the brothers owned.
Yep.
All of the effects that the candies have at the Weasley's shop
Are the same
as Willy Wonka. What are some of the other
Interesting.
coincidences?
I never made that connection.
One of the Weasley, or the surviving Weasley, it's like George and Fred. I don't remember which one survived.
I think George.
He got hit in the ear in the fight or something like that.
Yeah, he got his ear shot off.
And Gene Wilder's character, Willy Wonka,
He has the fuzzy hair.
no, he can't hear in one ear. There's a few other coincidences, and then he's got like a lot of items that are half of an item, or if it's like a set of two, he only has one.
Yeah.
Just like, I can't remember quite what it is, but it's supposedly because he feels like half a man since his brother died.
But that would be an insane theory.
Yeah.
If that was like, if that could legitimately be like a canon story.
I should have wrote this down so I could talk about it.
That would be insane.
Yeah, I didn't plan on this.
But we're going to go around and talk about our top 5 favorite games. They could be any genre, any whatever. They could be brand new. They could be from Pong. I mean, they could be whatever. But I keep seeing people do it on podcasts, on pretty much every genre of podcast that gets brought up, not even ones that are like gaming related. So we can just go around from Evan and just go around the room. Just top 5 and then kind of give reasons why and all that. You don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be like a legit reason.
I wouldn't even put them in order if I were you.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't even do that.
Yeah, it'd be a little difficult. You could try, but just be like, in no particular order, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
And then we'll
mainly,
judge you for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. We'll judge you harshly.
I'm going to need a new co-host, so...
We got Turbo Sloth over here.
I'll slide on over.
Applications, so...
Right, has that couple, you want to just,
You want to?
Or new-
They can hand you a mic.
right, here you go. No, I'm just kidding. But your top 5 in no particular order.
I'll just kind of go off the top of my head, but I'll probably say number 5 would be Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 system.
Ooh,
Me
me too.
Feel that. That one's a good answer. All the Spider-Man.
I'm just gonna kind of abbreviate just so we can just save some time.
Yeah.
Probably 4. I would say definitely Minecraft. That was one of the games that I
feel that.
literally played for. That was one of those games where I literally played for hours and hours and hours until my eyes got red.
Yeah.
Which was bad.
I could never get into Minecraft. That's just one of the things I never got into. Not my thing.
Let's say 3, which generic. I would probably the more recent game I usually play now. Probably 3, GTA 5.
Ooh.
I feel that.
It still holds up.
Yeah.
to what it is today.
11 years later. Rockstar, you wanna hurry up and release that GTA 6? I mean, you've already announced the release date for it, but
Yeah, exactly.
hurry up. Just kidding.
Probably say two.
Second favorite game of all time in the whole universe. Could never change your
I
answer.
would have to go more old school and say Star Fox 64.
Ooh, okay.
I was not expecting
You weren't expecting that, weren't you?
I was not expecting N64 to come out, but
Yeah, that was kind of, well, not the like very first game, but it was just like
Right.
one of those very first few games where my brother just introduced me to,
Yeah.
and I got into it and I started getting better at it, and
Yeah.
I probably beat the game like 3 times. You know, it was those stories where I did again,
Right.
and that one still holds up to me personally.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just one of those games.
N64, man, still kicks.
To go back to in the soundtrack back then, stuff like that just doesn't hold up like it used to.
The N64 was a very console, very goated console. Still to the-
So
to this day.
probably for number 1, oh gosh,
favorite game in the history of games. Once we publish this to the public, you can never change your answer. Your opinion can never change.
Oh man, more recently what I've been playing too, just for like coming home and relaxing after work. Power Wash Simulator.
Ooh.
I feel that one. I agree because
It's top
It's
five.
one of those
Okay.
games where I get it, where people,
it's
yeah,
weirdly addicted. I've had people that I've told that I'm playing this game and they looked at me like I'm the craziest person in the world, but I'm like, it's weirdly soothing. You know, it's weirdly therapeutic, and there's no plot. I mean, there is a plot, but it's like you just go from mission to mission, cleaning random objects, buildings, cars.
upgrade.
Yeah,
you
upgrade
know,
your
whatever
power
stuff,
washer. It's the
or-
weirdest thing, but it's weirdly fun. It's weirdly
Yeah.
addicting.
So,
Ooh.
all right, we'll go to you. What about you?
Oh God, I can't put them all on 5.
I did.
I know.
Now the pressure's on you.
I
How does that
know.
feel?
I had a top
How's that
5, but then I realized 3 of them are in the same franchise, and I don't know if that's fair. I will say, okay, I'll put Power Washing Simulator at 5.
I'm gonna skip all the ones that Evan already said that I would agree with, like Spider-Man.
Yeah. I had a PlayStation growing up for a little bit, but I'm mostly Xbox. And that leads me to my 4, 3, 2, 1. God, this would be hard. 4 is probably Halo 3. It's not the best Halo. I know you're giving me that look. It's not the best, which is why it's at 4. Halo 3 is probably out of the real Halo games, which are everything made by Bungie. Everything else doesn't exist. Just kidding. Halo
agree.
3 is probably number 4. It's not the greatest. It was mostly a horror game if you really think about it, but
Ooh.
there's a lot of horror to it. Number 3 is probably Reach. Again, for these, they're all in the Halo. There's Reach.
His top 5 games are all Halo games.
They are. I'm sorry, they are. They are. Halo. So number 3, right, is Halo Reach. 2 is, I'm just a really big Halo fan. 2 is obviously the greatest Halo game that ever existed, ever, and we can all say it in unison if we want.
Halo
3, 2, 1, Halo 2.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's literally it's the greatest game of all time. Now, that's my number 2, right? Or was that 3?
Yeah.
that was 2.
That was
Okay,
2.
cool. Thank you.
You down to 1.
Number 1, and this is a weird answer, but the feeling I got playing this game when I first discovered this game, I have never been able to recreate that feeling of playing it, and that is Rockstar. I'm looking at you. Bully Scholarship Edition.
Ooh. I'll give you that.
Interesting.
The reason why, so that game, Bully, the original Bully came out for the PlayStation. They released what was called Bully Scholarship Edition for the Xbox 360. They released that in like 2007, 2008, and I didn't play it in 2008. I didn't discover it until probably 3 or 4 years later. I had never heard of it until like 3 or 4 years later. But if you've played that game, you know it's basically like junior version of GTA.
Yeah.
There's no blood. There's not violence. There's a little bit of language, but it's literally high school GTA. Where you play as a guy who gets to bully bullies, and you get to like throw people in lockers, and you get to throw firecrackers in classrooms, and it was just, the experience was just insane. And you get like that go-kart. Remember the go-kart? Yeah, you get to unlock the go-kart. I discovered that game when I was the same age as the character in the game. Because you play like a 15-year-old kid, who gets to like beat up bullies, and you get to like explore the school and like the city, and you get to go on a go-kart, and you have like this rubber band gun. I mean, it was just
Slingshot,
and it was just such like it was what I wanted my high school experience to be. Weirdly enough, like my high school experience to be. Because I wanted that experience, because that's that's like the high school experience you see on the screen. I own Bully Scholarship Edition on basically I own it on PC, on Xbox One, on Xbox 360. I mean, I own every pretty much instance of Bully Scholarship Edition, and I will say this is a very probably controversial topic. I would rather have Bully, anything related to Bully, whether it's a re-release of the game or a sequel. Like if it was just like a 4K upgrade, I would rather play that than GTA 6. In my opinion. The reason being, one is the feeling I got when I was playing Bully, but two, the issue that I foresee with GTA 6. One, they've taken 50 billion years to make it. Like, come on. I don't personally see, when it comes to like online, GTA Online is like the biggest thing out right now. I mean, it has been since 2013. The stuff you can do in GTA Online already, I don't know how they're gonna meet that or exceed that expectation when GTA 6 Online comes out, if that's what they plan on doing. Campaign might be cool, but the real experience of GTA is GTA Online. That's like their biggest moneymaker. I don't see how they're gonna top GTA Online for GTA 6. Doesn't make sense to me, because there's so much you can already do. There's so many. You can own an auto mechanic shop. You can own submarines. You can. I mean, it's insane. So I would rather have had a Bully 2 or like a Bully re-release or like a 4K upgrade or anything. I would rather have had that than GTA 6. And, they actually talked about it. They actually had reports that they were going to work on a Bully 2, and they had to come out. I don't know if they publicly came out or if I just told myself this, but they came out and said that they just scrapped the project. And I was like, how dare you? Playing Halo 2, dude, that was the coolest thing in the world. You're a space marine killing aliens to metal. I mean, it was basically like Doom, but I wasn't allowed to play Doom because Doom's a lot more gory.
Man.
Yeah. Doom's a good one, though.
You keep reminding me of games.
I know. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I could talk about Halo 2 or Bully for the next 50 years.
I've got some honorable mentions because I couldn't fit them all into 5.
Yeah.
That's what I've got honorable mentions too.
The first 2 BioShock games, of course.
Those are not in your top 5. They're just like right below the top 5.
Right below the top 5.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
The Punisher for the original Xbox.
Never even played it.
Your description of Bully reminded me of it, but there were kills where you would go find thugs while you're like trying to find, I can't remember, it's like whoever like killed your wife or something.
Yeah.
And you would like interrogate them. You would like take a bad guy, and you didn't have to do this, and you'd like stick him in a window and like threaten to shut the window on his face and break the glass.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd give you information, and if you wouldn't, you would just kill him.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there was a lot of kills. Like you'd go to the zoo and you'd stick a dude's head in like the piranha tank.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was creative as
Yeah.
And gosh, old Marvel games were so much fun.
No.
And
So that was the Punisher. What else you got?
yeah, those are the honorable mentions. Anyway, okay, so not in any order. And I don't want to be a Zelda stan, but
Zelda.
Tears of the Kingdom was okay, but Breath of the Wild had the best formula. Like Tears of the Kingdom added too much. They made vehicles kind of made the game seem too easy to explore. But like when you slow down, you just like, ride a horse or you walk and you don't fast travel.
Yeah.
And you like enjoy the characters and stuff. That game has like a magic to it. It is wonderful, and I will probably replay it for the rest of my life. Another one, the classic Destroy All Humans 2 for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Might have been on PlayStation.
Destroy All Humans is pretty,
And the
pretty
remake they made,
Yeah.
the remakes of Destroy All Human 1 and 2, they fixed missions that were nearly impossible before, and then they just crushed that game. I remember being 10 years old, having all-nighters, drinking 2 liters, and laughing my ass off at how many humans I can kill in hilarious ways. It was a fantastic game, and I still play it. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, a childhood game that I played,
Never heard of it.
was Jet Set Radio Future by Sega, which is a remake of Jet Grind Radio, which is the American release name. It's a very niche Japanese game where you're like a 12-year-old like
Skater
rollerblading skater punk.
Yeah.
And you would graffiti things and have turf wars and
Yeah.
like fight the tyrannical government.
That reminds me of Sunset Overdrive.
And
That's a good one, too.
exactly.
Yeah, Sunset's
Sunset's on
that's
that
in my
list.
honorable mentions. Sunset Overdrive is pretty good.
Dude, that is a game. We'll talk about that another day. It didn't get enough
That's its own episode.
marketing love.
it didn't.
But Bomb Rush is basically a spiritual successor because Sega didn't touch the IP for like 23 years.
Yeah.
And so someone made the game with the correct feel, art style, and everything, and you can probably beat it in like 2 or 3 hours. And I have not played something that quality in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next. Number 2, Yuppie Psycho. I love horror games. There are many horror games on my mental list. Yuppie Psycho is a top-down 8-bit horror game with multiple endings.
Interesting.
It's on Steam. It's on Xbox.
Let's look into that.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, and you can log into my account and play it.
Cool.
It's very cool and creative, especially for a recent game.
Yeah.
And I found out that developer made other similar horror games, and I'm just gonna binge their entire library.
All of their games.
And number 1 is a Halo game,
Halo 2.
but it's a mod. It would be Halo 2 if you didn't say it.
I know
It's
what it is.
Cursed Halo.
Cursed
Oh my
Halo.
god. I've
Cursed
never
Halo is
re-experienced a childhood game for the first time since Cursed Halo.
Yeah. Is that just for 1, or do they have it for 2? Or is it-
Number 1 was made by Inferno Plus,
Yeah.
and number 2 and 3 I think were made by
so which one's like the actual Cursed Halo? Just Halo 1?
Halo 1.
Okay, and the other 2 are just other developers.
But oh my god, and every time I play, I turn on infinite ammo so that way you have infinite grenades, and the frag grenades are D20s
Yeah.
that will spawn one of like 200 variable options. And even just playing single player, I'm never bored, even though I've played that game probably over 1,000 hours
Yeah.
vanilla.
Imagine if they had that for Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and I just got reminded of another honorable mention. A game that has never given me such an exciting experience as just like campaign-wise, Portal 2.
I feel that.
was so excited to play Portal 2 as I was playing through it,
Yeah.
and I wish I could blank my memory to play it again for the first time.
Portal 2 is pretty good.
And so I just keep trying to get my girlfriend to play it so I can watch her play it for the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my list.
I was gonna add a few because it's impossible to.
Yeah,
have
let's
top-
just keep
top
adding
5.
some. Let's
right.
just
So
do
let's
it.
we're gonna do top 20. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
There's a few games that I was thinking about that I do want to mention because they have historical impact on me. Not really historical.
I want
but
to say Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear is pretty
Any
good.
of them.
Yeah. For
Very
me,
quality.
another game that I played in the same era as I was playing Bully and Halo 2 that also they need to remake, remaster, or re-release because they kind of are, I guess. But that was Fable 2.
Oh,
yeah.
I have
Fable-
that. I've never beat it.
Fable 2 is phenomenal. It is the absolute best out of the 3 Fable games. 1 was pretty good. We don't talk about 3, but Fable 2 was such a cool experience. And they are making a new Fable game.
Oh, are they?
They are. And they've shown they finally have a general release date. It's supposed to come out early next year. But the one of the that most hesitant things about it, they haven't released any gameplay footage yet. But But the most hesitant thing about that Fable game that's coming out is it's being made by Playground Games,
Okay.
who make Forza.
Oh.
And I don't know what engine they're using, if they're using the Forza engine.
If they're using the Forza engine, I want to know where the supercars are at.
Right,
There's
yeah.
going to be a mod.
Right.
Or, Easter egg.
But it's I mean, I know that they could probably do it, but if you look at Playground Games' like library, they've all been racing games for the most part. They pretty much, I think they've only done like Forza games.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to why Microsoft, or maybe it was Playground Games themselves that wanted to do it. I'm kind of curious as to why they decided to go that route, to make a Fable game, to make a fantasy like Game of Thrones or like a Lord of the Rings type game. Fable 2, which I don't think ever got remastered in any way. But Fable 2 was such a cool game. What you could do in that game, like I mean, it was like 1800s, so you had like sword and shield, and you had like a blunderbuss. You fought like hobgoblins or whatever they called them. But you could actually like do work. Like you could actually like become like a blacksmith, and you'd get paid to like to make swords and stuff. And you could like buy houses, and you could buy like fruit stands, and you could buy businesses.
Oh, you could do that in Assassin's Creed too.
Yeah, it's like that. You could buy businesses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Assassin's
and so like
Creed
you would
2
just see
and
like
Brotherhood.
every day you would be like, boop, 30,000 gold has been deposited into your account.
Quick note on Fable.
Yeah.
I've never played the game, really. I played the intro a couple times.
Play Fable 2. That's the only one you need to
Yeah.
good.
I love the intro.
Yeah.
How there's just a premise that I like about some things.
Yeah.
But how the kids are skeptical about things like magic.
Right.
And then they're given a spell book.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, look at this.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's always that skepticalness of it, but they believe in it to
Yeah.
a degree.
It
And
was-
that's always exciting to me.
Yeah, but that game was such like it was a fantasy game, but it was such like a cool experience, and it just like the flow of the game was
Yeah.
cool. It made sense. There was like one of the funniest things about it was you could unlock like these giant. Like these stone doors, like you have like they were password protected. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was weird. Like these giant stone doors had like a face on them that would like talk to you. Like it was all like almighty, blah blah blah, and they would say the funniest. They would just say the funniest things, but you had to like find out the passcode, or you would have to do a certain action in front of the door to unlock it, and you would get like gold or
That's cool.
legendary items. But one of the doors requires you to kick a chicken like 300 times to unlock it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
can kick chickens.
I love shit like that.
There's just the ability to go walk up to a chicken and kick it, which was stupid, but it was funny.
I have thought of 3 honorable mentions to add.
Okay.
And I'll go quick so that way Evan can take his turn.
He doesn't get any. No.
Nope, not Evan.
Excuse
Not
me.
allowed.
Not you.
Zach can go too if he wants.
Did I say you could talk?
Did we say
Please, by
you're
all
part
means,
of,
go
you're
ahead.
part of this
Hey,
podcast
This
now?
is your podcast. Go
Glad
ahead.
he's talking now.
It's the Grayson podcast.
The Psychonauts games.
Ooh, I agree.
Cool classic platformers, and the second game, besides the graphical upgrades, feels like no time has passed and the spirit of the game is still there.
I feel that.
I can't remember the studio name, but they freaking knocked it out of the park. Another one, the Doom games. Doom 1 and 2 from the 90s.
Right.
I have played through multiple times and just crushed them. And this is recently.
Yeah.
Like, I just prefer older and classic games.
Yeah.
But the 2016 Doom, I've never beat it, but I was very impressed with what they did with it. And
I'm really excited for the Doom Dark Ages game that's coming
I
out.
haven't even seen the trailer.
Look at the trailer, dude. It is so cool.
I'm excited.
I never played the 2016 or Eternal. Like I played like once or twice.
Yeah.
I would play the heck out of Doom: The Dark Ages.
So what are your honorable mentions, Evan?
Yes.
Since you only got 5.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't do nothing.
Daddy is now talking.
I would say I literally, because I was like, I played a lot of PS2 games, and I was like, while you guys were discussing, I was like, man,
Yeah.
it's just for some reason I just can't think of any right now. But I was like looking up some. But one big one, I know there was a lot of sequels to the games, but one of the biggest ones was Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2.
I feel that.
The soundtrack, the storyline, the mechanics in it, the way how you can like upgrade, and you go in all sorts of different worlds of Disney and such, and you know
It was
and
interesting because it was like a Disney JRPG.
basically, yeah.
It was a very interesting concept.
And yeah, I remember the first time like just being so into the game, and then just toward the end, I just started crying because it was so emotional. Game, and yeah, that was one. Honestly, don't really have any others at the moment that I could think of, but definitely Kingdom Hearts 1. That was one of the games that I played.
I've recently thought about getting like replaying Kingdom Hearts games until I realized there's like 30 of them, including there's mobile there's mobile games of them now. That there's so many. A buddy I used to work with, he was really good, a really big Kingdom Hearts fan. And he was like, yeah, so you have to play, like, and he was telling me the order and everything. He's like, you have to play da-da-da-da, and then there's mobile games, and you don't want to play that one. I was like, yeah, I'm out. If there's not Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and that was it, I'm done. But I was also going to quickly mention Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank in particular.
Ratchet and Clank's a good one.
Ratchet and Clank in particular, because I did own a PlayStation 2 for a little bit before I owned an original Xbox. Once I owned the original, like the OG Xbox, I never really got back to the PlayStation. But when I had the PlayStation 2, I was playing Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. And Ratchet and Clank was like such a cool experience. So was Jak and Daxter, but Ratchet and Clank was like my favorite PlayStation 2 game ever.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah.
But then my dad got me and my brother Xbox One, the OG Xbox, and got us Halo with it, and we're just like, okay, well, that doesn't exist anymore. And
we're gonna be in our rooms for the rest of our lives. Yeah.
No,
basically.
literally, I remember me and my brother, we would used to every weekend go over to my dad's house. We would buy, or my dad would buy us a 12-pack of Code Red, and we would be playing like Halo 1, Halo 2, whatever game was out. And we would literally, that whole entire weekend, for 72 hours straight, play Halo 1, like play the campaign.
What if we did a legendary run?
I could do that now. Like I can play
Back
legendary
then,
like Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I was scared as a kid, especially the flood levels.
Oh, yeah.
I had to have my dad play with me.
Library on legendary.
Oh my god.
Scared the tar out of me when I was a kid.
I'm good at it now.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tony Hawk games. I like skate, but I liked it when skating games were less realistic. You'd push X and you do a kickflip.
Right.
It wasn't like you have to flick the stick the correct way to get it, shove it, and then if you land sideways you fall. It was like there's a balance meter. That's
out of all the skating games, I don't play a lot of skating games. I don't really play any. Skate 3 was pretty cool.
Skate 3,
and they're making a new
cool.
Skate, and I'm actually really excited.
I played a lot of Skate 1 and couldn't beat it.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy it. That's like my power wash simulator.
Yeah.
I would zone out to that game what I would do is I'd buy a new record or a CD because I still collect CDs.
Yeah.
But like I think for that game I got like 2 Black Keys records, and I think it was one of them was El Camino, and I would install it onto my Xbox 360, and I'd play an album on loop. And so I
remember being able to do that.
Yeah, that's how I would learn songs before I'd play them.
Yeah,
is I would binge an album on repeat, and so I know all the words to heart, and I would just zone out to like a relaxing game that I didn't have to think about it. You know?
Yeah. See, one of my favorite things, real quick, before we sum up the podcast, which has been going on for 7 hours.
I got one more game.
We need to wrap it up.
I always loved, and I went back to Skate 3 recently and looked at like the DLCs they had for it. Mm-hmm. The one DLC they don't have, and it's probably a contract issue or something. But when I originally bought Skate 3 for the 360, one of the DLCs that they had that I bought was the Fantasy Factory.
Oh,
you could straight up own they had like a DLC.
I didn't know that. I knew Rob Dyrdek was in the game.
Yeah, they had the Fantasy Factory.
Big Black.
Is his name? Big Black. Yeah, they had the Fantasy Factory in it, and now if you go to like on Xbox Series or Xbox One and you look at Skate 3, they still have the DLCs that are still for sale for some reason for like $30. Doesn't make any sense, but they don't have the Fantasy Factory. And like that was the only one I cared for. Because it was like a whole like 3D scan of like the actual Fantasy Factory from Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory, and it was a solid DLC, and they don't have that one anymore. But But I liked playing Skate 3 because it was a little bit more complex, where you did have to use your thumbsticks to do different moves.
So, Sunset Overdrive. I want to talk about this for a second.
I feel that.
And if Insomniac ever sees this, PlayStation ever sees this, Xbox ever sees this.
I don't think Insomniac exists anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Do they? Okay, I thought they.
They're very
I'm thinking of
valuable.
Neversoft. Neversoft doesn't exist.
Neversoft
anymore.
made the Tony Hawk games.
Right, and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. So, basically what happened
Guitar Hero 3.
is this studio that maybe made like 2 titles before this
Yeah.
created a fantastic classic feeling platformer where you practically have superpowers and guns, and it's got comic book humor and art style.
Oh, it was cool.
And you just kill these mutants that were made by an energy drink company, and it's just punk rock as it gets. And it was an Xbox exclusive. For some reason, it didn't receive the correct marketing, or it was released at the same time as something else, so it didn't get the love.
Yeah.
And its marketing was just awful. But I've never met a single human being that's ever played the game
They didn't like it.
that disliked it or had something bad to say about it, unless it's just not their kind of game.
Yeah.
And so that was 2014, 10 years ago.
Don't make me.
And I'm still waiting on the sequel, Insomniac.
I don't know if they ever will.
And the current situation is that Insomniac was bought by PlayStation. You may have heard of them because they made all of the recent Spider-Man games. I think ever since
Right.
yeah.
So there won't be a
no.
Sunset Overdrive for Xbox.
No. Actually, that's not true. So basically, what happened is PlayStation owns Insomniac.
Right.
Xbox owns the IP for Sunset because it was an exclusive.
Right. I don't know if Sony would allow them to make a sequel.
But I believe PlayStation said future Spider-Man games will be released on Xbox because it just makes PlayStation more money. More people play the game. Whatever.
They need to. I like the new Spider-Man games.
Yeah, they're
wish
fantastic.
I wish I could play them on
And they
Xbox.
use the same swinging mechanic from Spider-Man 2, Evan.
Yeah.
That's why those games are so good and popular. Is it's the same swinging mechanic? Because I wouldn't even play the missions, and I would just swing around the city.
Yeah.
In the past, the studio said nothing is stopping them from making a sequel, but their current moneymaker is the Spider-Man games.
That's fair.
And that's what PlayStation is paying them to make.
Right. That's fair.
And it has been said that the developers want to make a sequel. Just the current state of affairs is that they can't. And I would like more people to draw attention to the fact that people would love this game. Even a re-release of the game on PlayStation or whatever would be greatly received.
Absolutely.
And a sequel, I think, would be 10 times as big as the original. Yeah, the most recent thing I could find on it was last month, June 27th, 2024. They're not making a Sunset port for PlayStation 5, PS4, that they're just too busy working on the next Spider-Man game. So,
Yeah.
for now, that is the state of affairs.
Yeah.
But I would like it to be known that it is a beloved game and it deserves attention.
As long as they recognize that as long as they publicly say what their thoughts and opinions are on it, that'd be great.
Well, that's why I'm saying
not a lot
here
of
that it
studios
would
do
be a loved game,
Right.
and be very monetarily valuable.
Like there's always certain studios you want to publicly announce what their plan is for new game or re-release of a really cool game like Bully. Like
Yeah.
I think that I'm pretty sure Rockstar actually publicly came out and said they had plans for Bully 2. And they even showed.
A lot of games get canceled.
I think they even had like sketches they showed, and they even had like what the game was going to be. It just never came to fruition. I was like, okay, well if that's not gonna work, just re-release the original Bully. Just do a 4K upgrade.
Yeah. Something. Yeah.
Right? Just you don't. I even was like, I told myself like, are people who asked me about it, I was like, I don't want new missions. I don't want new costumes. I don't want new nothing. Just make it digitally look better. And newer.
Oh,
Yep.
Same acting and everything. I don't care.
Yep.
one more small thing. I keep having things come to mind.
You're good.
Destroy All Humans 3 is a very little known game. The first two were very popular.
I was not aware there was a third one.
There's a third one. It's called Path of the Furon, and it's supposed to look like a 70s kung fu movie.
I do remember that now.
Yep. And it's like, it starts out in a casino, and it's very like disco inspired.
I just love Richard Horvitz.
That game, I think either ran short on time or ran out of funding, because especially at the end of the game, you can see they don't animate the mouths when the characters talk. And they've remade the first two games, and the remakes were very successful. I really hope THQ Nordic remakes the third one, or makes a totally new third one. It deserves it. It was a pleasure to meet all of you.
For the first time ever in life.
Not my friends in this room, but the audience. Oh. My name is Grayson King, also known as Mr. Smiley. I will have my own channel on YouTube. But primarily I'll be doing this with these guys.
Yeah, you can walk in front of the camera too to show your face if you like. Look,
fine.
It's the man behind the mask. Who's been talking this whole time?
Hi, number
Find
one.
out. We should, right before he walks into the camera, we should cut and be like, subscribe and we'll send you a photo.
On my face, that's the last thing you see
But
before you die.
Subscribe and we'll send you a personalized photo of Grayson. No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. That's okay. Anyway.
But yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely credit to him for helping us out with all the mics and making us sound.
No, I'm kidding.
Plus, the conversations are a lot more interesting when we're yelling at each other playing Halo.
Yeah. I will do the outro. You want me to do the outro?
Yeah,
I'll
go
do
for
the
it.
outro.
Should we have like a chant?
No. We have an outro. It's okay.
Yeah,
What time is it?
no.
Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this extended episode of the podcast. Have fun editing this one, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Drink your coffee in moderation, and don't believe everything you hear on the internet, especially four idiots who are talking in front of a camera that is just nothingness. Just kidding.
Yes, please. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
If you like what we do, even if you don't, just what you're going to do is with your Gmail account, create a YouTube channel just to subscribe. Subscribe to us. Log out of that YouTube channel. Just never touch it.
It obviously takes just a couple minutes every time. And then if there's stuff you don't like, at least just let us know,
Right. If you hate one of us in particular, just message us personally. We'll fight you in the parking lot, 3:00. No, I'm just kidding.
Still
Just kidding. But yes, if you could subscribe, like, share. I know sharing is not really a thing anymore. I mean, it kind of is. I don't know if it's a metric that anyone cares about, but share this on your Facebook or your Instagram or your MySpace if you're 40.
So
I had a MySpace. No, I'm just kidding.
all right.
I still have a MySpace.
Alrighty, folks. We will see you next time.
We out.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.